A chance undone in pound and two. Electrifying facts for me and you. Economy, health, education. Youth them future, the whole foundation. Culture, law, accountability. She hold the line for transparency. Not just talk, context and insight. So you can reason and get it right. Morning boost for your mind and soul. Information is power. Take control. Grab your bush tea, clear your head. Start your day properly fed. Who got the facts? Who got the facts? Cindy. Who asks the hard questions? Who keep it real every morning? Daily talk show. Daily talk show. Covering the issues. It drops an up higher. Electrifying. Powerful morning booze. The morning facts with Cindy Rose, and from sunrise talk to national plan. Facts in the morning so we understand. Strong mind, strong people, stronger land. The morning facts with Cindy Rose, and from sunrise talk to national plan. Facts in the morning so we understand. Strong mind, strong people, stronger land. Before you step out, before you decide, get the facts in the morning and walk with pride. The morning facts with Cindy Rosen. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Rise and shine, nation. Grab your bush tea. Cindy Rosen in the building. Let's break it down. The morning facts with Cindy Rosen. How the country running, we break it down. Facts in the morning, no gimmicks, no spin. Educate, empower, let the day begin. Sunrise busting over hills and sea. Radio on, tune in frequency. From policy talk to community news. She asks the questions, bring real truth. No long talk, straight to the point. Facts so clean, they anoint. From the people voice to the leader's seat. She connect the dots, make sense of it. If you want knowledge, tune in early. If you want clarity, don't come late. The morning facts with Cindy Rose on how the country running, we break it down. A chance undone in pound and two. Electrifying facts for me and you. Economy, health, education. Youth them future, the whole foundation. Culture, law, accountability. She hold the line for transparency. Not just talk, context and insight. So you can reason and get it right. Morning boost for your mind and soul. Information is power. Take control. Grab your bush tea, clear your head. Start your day properly fed. Who got the facts? Who got the facts? Cindy. Who asks the hard questions? Who keep it real every morning? Daily talk show. Daily talk show. Covering the issues. It drops an up higher. Electrifying. Powerful morning booze. The morning facts with Cindy Rose, and from sunrise talk to national plan. Facts in the morning so we understand. Strong mind, strong people, stronger land. The morning facts with Cindy Rose, and from sunrise talk to national plan. Facts in the morning so we understand. Strong mind, strong people, stronger land. Before you step out, before you decide, get the facts in the morning and walk with pride. The morning facts with Cindy Rosen. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Rise and shine, nation. Grab your bush tea. Cindy Rosen in the building. Let's break it down. The morning facts with Cindy Rosen.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm in a new, different little space this morning, just for today and tomorrow, maybe. How are you guys? Are you hearing me well? Let me get onto the page so I can talk with you guys. Good morning. Am I good? Welcome to a brand new week of the morning facts. Again, we're excited to be back. I'm stuttering a little bit. Let me just catch myself. There's too much excitement. Let me just catch myself. How was the weekend? Alrighty, good morning. Welcome back to the morning facts. I'm in a different environment this morning, and hopefully you guys can hear me well. I don't think I can take any calls this morning, but I can take people joining me on screen. So if you want to join me on screen to have part of the conversation, I'm happy to do so. I don't think, or I can try. If a call comes in, I'll try to see if it comes through the speaker well enough. But I don't think I can take calls this morning. But how was the weekend? I have a lot to talk about this morning. We're going to go down the headlines. Of course, we're going to break out and break down some of the headlines that's there, some information that I learned over the weekend. Of course, I'm always bringing everything back to you guys. So we're going to talk about all of it this morning, all of the things that are bothering us, all of the things as we head into another election, how the government is doing, what's been going on in the House of Assembly, who's on the ground visiting us, and we did not know what that's shielded under. I might be wrong, but you know me, I'm going to bring the facts and then I'm going to break it down how I think or what I think is reasonably happening. So, of course, let me think about if we're going to go on a break, like the 60-second break, so we can share up and so forth. I don't think I need to do that. I think I've shared everything already this morning. So I'm going to leave it to you guys to do the rest of the sharing. I've shared it to all of my platforms and I've shared it to all of the social media pages, Facebook pages that I am on. Yummy. And yeah, so if you guys can share it up a bit, I think the platform is going to be a live wire this morning. So tag everybody, share it, and we're going to get going. Let's start with like the small things. So, of course, every day I'm going to say donate to the platform. It's important to donate to the platform to keep it going. There are overheads with doing all of this, and of course, just to keep Guavaberry in itself going, one of the options is to donate. Also, if you want to run some ads with us or you want to get some advertising opportunities or know what opportunities we have, you can message me or call me on 440-3234, 284-440-3234. For any advertising opportunities. You can also WhatsApp me on that number. If you go onto the GB Media House, www.gbmediahouse.com, and just look under our donation link, you'll see there how you can donate to the platform. If it's local and you have if you have ATH Mobile, of course, you can also ATH me on 284-440-3234. But still, if you go online, you'll see, the levels of donation that's appreciated for the platform annually. Alrighty. So please donate to the platform to help it keep going. I don't want to call this house cleaning. We're going to get straight into the news, what's happening, little things that's going on around this space. Each day I want to be able to take about 3 breaks, okay? And I want to take those breaks to be able to give my advertisers and my supporters opportunities for their advertising to go out there so you can see it and so forth, okay? Because if not, it's not worth them advertising. So I'm going to try to take at least 3 breaks during the 2-hour session. Again, we've changed from 8:30 to 11:30. We've changed to 9 to 11. We brought it down to 2 hours as we continue to head into an election season. The election season further, we'll see if we need to extend the time. But for now, I'm going to keep it to 2 hours, okay? Another thing when you donate, you can decide to keep it confidential, or if you prefer that I share it, you can make that decision, okay? But donors, any donations are kept confidential unless otherwise stated. All right, let's get going with some of the headlines and news for today. The governor has a press conference this afternoon at 3 o'clock. Of course, the press is going to be there. I'm going to be there for Guavaberry. If you have any questions, now would be the time. Put them down in the comments for me, and I will check them once I wrap the show. So if you have any questions or comments or anything, any queries that you might have for the governor, there's a press conference this afternoon. Put it in the comments section on the live, and I will check at the end of the live. I will check and I will try to make them a part of my questions or comments this afternoon when I'm sitting in that press conference at 3 o'clock. All right, so that's the governor's press conference this afternoon at 3 o'clock. If you have any questions or concerns, put it in the comments and I will be happy to take them forward for you. All righty. So let's start with this. One of our very popular DJs, a younger DJ, very popular, Keon, Top Man Key. Some information came out about him on Friday evening, I think it was. I received the information, I think most of us did, kind of at the same time into the weekend. And that information was suggesting that he was in Dominica for their carnival, and when he was leaving, he was arrested on a plane. And that was due, and this is the information that is, I'm sharing the information that was going around, and then I'm going to clarify some things. And then it was, the information was saying that he was in an accident and somebody had died. And when he was heading back home, he was arrested on the plane. Now, I tried to find this information when I got that news. I tried to find the information. I scoured all of Dominica's news, and I have not been able to find anything with his name in it. So I don't know if it has made the news. What I can say now is that his aunt, Arlene Thompson, she made a post on her Facebook yesterday to clarify some things, to say, and I guess that's because, people would have reached out to her. I did reach out to her. I sent her a voice note. I don't know if she heard it or if she got to it, because I'm pretty sure she was overwhelmed, to find out if any of this was even credible. But on her page yesterday, on her Facebook page, she did confirm that he was in an accident, and after that some unfortunate events have happened, which she has not said. She has made it very clear though that no one had died and that 2 people were injured and they were in recovery, and that of course we should keep them in our thoughts and prayers. And so that is the extent of, and I don't know, I mean, information comes out, and I try to be clear on information before I share anything. Of course, there are times you're gonna have to make a little pullback, but and then let me just also be clear on something else, because I had some messages, because of course people don't pay attention. We don't read and get information as clear as we should. Miss Thompson, of course, was not talking about me or Guavaberry Media when she referred to a Bush journalist. I would just want to clear that up. I'm clearing that up for her, and I'm clearing it up for me. So she was not referring to me, because one, Guavaberry has not shared anything. I have not shared anything personally, but most importantly, Guavaberry Media is certainly not a Bush journalist, or cannot even be classified as that. But just to be very clear, and then she made some observations or descriptions of who it was. So anybody that could read would know that that's not me, especially the part about singing in a church choir, right? So, so let's just take that off the table. But Something did happen in Dominica with him. We're still trying to clarify exactly what that is. Information is definitely on a lockdown. Um, so I don't know. We'll see. Outside of that, of course, I want to wish him the best and a speedy recovery to those that were injured, and hopefully we can have him home soon enough. Alrighty. So, Tapman Key, if you're in a position to listen to this, know that we have you in our thoughts and our prayers, and we hope that whatever it is that you're dealing with, that um, you get through that and you're able to come back home. Alrighty. Alrighty. So let's move on from that. There was, I'm trying to get a video. So Friday afternoon, this thing went around about an asphalt scam. Oh gosh, I wish I had it to share with my camera guy. I think I do. He may not be able to get it up right away. But there was this asphalt scam being talked about on Friday. We got the information from government that let me pull it up quickly. I thought I had it there in my pictures. I'm gonna pull it up from government of the year. Oh my goodness. Um, so the government sent out this thing on Friday where here it is, an asphalt scam. So I'm gonna save it and I'm gonna send it to my camera guy to see if he can get it up so you guys can read it. Send. Alrighty. So this alert or this bulletin came out from government on Friday afternoon about this asphalt scam alert that was happening, and it said the public is encouraged to report anyone that offers to sell and or offer any in-kind asphalt outside of the known suppliers. Any such offers should be reported to the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force. The Ministry of Communications and Works is aware that there are persons attempting to scam or entrap individuals and corrupt our systems. Gotta love the BVI. For verification or to report suspected illegal or unsafe sales, contact the Ministry of Communications and Works at 468-2183 or the Public Works Department at 468-5902 or 494-2722. Now, I found this thing so hilarious because I'm like, what kind of scam can be happening with asphalt? So I was thinking that government workers, probably because they were doing a lot of asphalting last week. And so I was thinking that there was asphalt left and people were, selling it on the side, or, they were just like selling it on the side while doing government work. So, but what I've come to understand, I'm trying to get this video, but, let me see if this video was sent. I was trying to get this video because there are a couple of videos there. Okay, some information is coming in here. So just don't mind my distraction. Anyway, so I was trying to, because there are a couple of videos, right, of asphalt being laid in people's yard or business places. Right, and nothing is strange about that, but let me tell you what's strange, what I understand is happening. So there's a white guy, and I think it's 4 white guys. Somehow one is in charge and the other 3, they're working for the guy, and they reached out to an asphalt company here and said that he wanted some asphalt to sell around the island or to share around the island. And, the guy got the asphalt, and he's been going around like calling people to say, I have asphalt, do you want some? And something about it's left over from government or something to that effect. And most people, of course, in this territory, if you see a certain, I'm gonna say, if you see a white guy call you to say, I have extra asphalt from government, do you want it? Like your what do you call it? Your things will go up, right? Because that looks so weird. But anyway, one person accepted to buy some asphalt because they could have used some asphalt in their business yard. And while that was happening, it's where all the confusion came in, like where the person started asking, like, who you with, like, and all, because these four white guys, and I've seen the videos, and I would love to get the videos, but they're keeping them under lock. My friend even he respond to me. Even he tell me good morning. But if I can get my hands on these videos, I will put them up. But yeah, so these four white guys are going around selling or giving away asphalt. And the government is kind of concerned because somewhere in there they're saying they're from government. So right now, apparently labor and immigration are looking for these guys and they're nowhere to be seen, heard, or found. But it is indeed a real thing. It is indeed a real thing. I've seen the videos. I've seen the information. And I can tell you, the BVI is what a place to live. So the government, I guess, some members of government, in being careful, they feel like maybe some kind of entity is trying to set them up, whether through some kind of corruption or whatever. I don't know. The whole thing just sounds really weird. The whole thing just sounds really weird. Alrighty, so I have some information coming in here. Oh, can I say this on air? So I'm gonna read some information, and I'm gonna read some information that came to me. And this is information coming in. Don't take this as facts. This is what I'm understanding from a contact in Dominica that I've been following up with already. So what I understand has happened is that there was an accident, okay? And everything was fine until the owner of the vehicle, I'm understanding. So this is the situation with Topman Key. I'm getting some information fed to me right now out of a contact in Dominica. And and what I'm understanding is that there indeed was an accident. And Topman Key, I'm understanding. Okay, this is what I'm understanding. Do not run with this as facts. This is what I'm understanding took place. He paid 3,600 US dollars for the damage. All right. He provided that to the owner of the vehicle, but I'm understanding the owner of the vehicle seemed to have gotten greedy and tried to extort further monies from Topman Key, about $10,000 more. This is what I'm understanding to be the case. Okay. And so when he didn't get the money, he reported to the police that the vehicle was stolen. And so Topman Key was not actually on a plane, but he was at the airport getting ready to come home when, he was met by the police. When he was met by the police faced with these allegations. Okay, so that's what I understand is unfolding. And I'm going to say, right, all that stuff that was coming out about Topman Key, I really couldn't digest any of that. Like knowing him, that he would have hit somebody and the person died and he was trying to leave the island. I just don't see that would be him. So information, and like I said, I just couldn't find anything that came out of this. And so what they're saying is that there indeed was an accident. Topman paid what he was asked to pay to cover damages or whatever. And then greed seemed to have kicked in and they were trying to extort him for more money and he wasn't going to do it. And so they reported to the police to say, oh, he stole the vehicle and so forth. And so I'm understanding. I'm understanding the two persons that got injured. They're both at home at the moment and they're fine. And so, based on the initial report made by the guy, he was detained. All right. All right. So, greed, that thing called greed. Thank you for that information. Thank you for that information. The information is very much appreciated. And that brings a lot of clarity to the situation because, like I said, when that thing came in about Tapman, I scoured every single paper in Dominica and I could not find anything at all. So that clarification could make a lot of sense. And again, if Tapman Key and his family are listening, keep you listening, or if you guys are forwarding this to them, we hope that he's able to get through what it is that he is facing. Greed is a serious thing. That's all I'm gonna say. Greed is a serious thing, and my goodness. All right, so the person might be sending some more information, so I'll wait to see. So yeah, so we have a little asphalt situation going on in the BVI, but right now they can't find these four white guys, and I don't know because to me you're like, who wakes up one morning just out of the blue and decides they're gonna give away asphalt to people around the community, a community that you don't know, like we have no idea who you are. So it raised a lot of red flags. I do find it a bit funny, but it raised a lot of red flags. And so I'm glad it was caught quick enough. All right. I think okay. All right. So the person said the thing with Topman Key was simple and it was being handled. And the persons are out of the hospital. That's very unfortunate. Alrighty, so as they send me further information, as I see they're doing right now, I will bring that information to you. Alrighty, so I want to skip over to St. Thomas just really quickly because one of the owners of what is it called, St. Thomas Social. And I really gotta sit here, and everybody's familiar with Janelle Soro over there in St. Thomas. She sat in the legislature for a few years, and she ran for deputy governor last time. Now she's running to go to the House in the U.S. And for the time that she has sat in the legislature, she has brought out so much. She has been quite an advocate. And that's to me where you can do advocacy and you can also sit in the legislature or sit in the House of Assembly as we do here. And that's, I think, why we keep saying to our reps, can you not do more? Even being a part of the House of Assembly and sitting on the opposition. And I guess maybe the makeup of the House of Assembly and the rules that they're guided by and the guidelines, stop them from saying and doing certain things. Which means to me that then that isn't functioning in the best democratic way for the territory. But anyway, I don't want to be segue just yet. So she has spoken out about a lot of things. And even after she was not elected as, lieutenant governor, she continued to bring out information to the people of the Virgin Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands. And, some of that, was about some of the people around the governor. McFlurty, this guy, Brett McFlurty, was one of those persons. And I want to go over real quickly, and I'm want to pick up the article because when I saw it yesterday, and I'm talking about it because the BVI is mentioned in there. So I want to go and pull it up quickly. Okay, we're just gonna go over there shortly. And this guy that she has talked about, right? Let's go on the Virgin Islands Consortium. And all of us can see, right, what's going on over there in the USVI in terms of corruption, people, that's working for government being arrested, um, you know, given time in jail. Oh, wow. Oh, oh gosh. The world is in a crazy place right now. Anyway, so yeah, this guy, Brett McFlurty, he was arrested in connection with a fraud case to do with Banco Popular, and to the tune of $888,000 plus dollars, right? And this was flagged, right, for checks and so forth and other instruments being picked up and deposited in accounts in the BVI. And so Banco Popular themselves flagged this. They lost $80,000 in the process. And they're talking about counterfeit checks originating from the British Virgin Islands. Okay, so I'm waiting to see what unfolds in terms of really and truly where the BVI comes in with this. And I guess when he's charged, and they're getting to court, we're going to understand exactly how the BVI comes in to this, where the counterfeit checks came from, where the bounce checks came from, and so forth. All right. So I wanted to talk about that briefly. If you go on the Virgin Islands Consortium, you will find the article there. I can actually open it here and I can drop it into the light that we have here, and you can read it. Okay. It was very, very shocking and interesting to see. But most every single thing that Soro has been saying about these people, government, some heads in government, people around the governor, you just see it all come to fruition. And so he was arrested on almost $100 million fraud. Somebody from the St. Thomas Social tried to come out and say something yesterday on the St. Thomas Community Board, which was really crazy because, they're saying it's 12 different incidents, 12 different deposits or collections of, fraudulent funds amounting to nearly $1 million. So I don't know what St. Thomas Social really come out to say. They should have just kept quiet. So I'm going to put the link there, and I'm going to share the link so you guys can read it. Where the BVI comes in it, I'm waiting to see the full details of who was involved over here and how that went down. So I shared it in the thing, okay? Alrighty. I want to go on to, and this is going to pick up a little bit of steam. And again, I'm pretty sure people would want to call in, but leave your comments and I'll try to answer them. I'll keep checking the comments. Okay. There was a report that came out in the BVI news. I think it was on Friday. Where let's see. Yep, it was on Friday. A report came out in BVI News in relation to a student at one of the local primary schools being found with marijuana. All right. There's an investigation going on in regards to the incident. The child's, of course, the child's name or age has not been given, but the child is a student at one of the local primary schools. And the child was found with a lighter and cannabis, a few small bags of cannabis. Now let's talk about this in a way where people are gonna get upset. So somebody said in the comments that that's the norm, whether we want to admit it or make excuses. We have the wig one who keeps yapping about free the weed, free the Jew, etc. Okay. Anyway, let's not go there. Although it's a good comment, but I ain't able today. So you have a primary school student. So this child has to be between the ages of 5, which I don't think it was. I'm pretty sure it was probably one of the older children. So you between the ages of 5 to roughly 12. I'll give it till 12, right? So still children, not even teen. And they were found with some small, not well, a small few bags, a few small bags of cannabis, and also with a lighter, which means he is probably selling and lighting up. Who is he selling to? And who is, supplying him? Whether and this commenter is right, whether we want to accept it or not, we have some serious problems in the BVI. I don't even want to say serious problems. The BVI has a crisis. We have a crisis with our young people, and it includes weed, it includes promiscuity, and it includes alcohol. And this isn't about coming after any of the alcohol suppliers or the bars or anything like that, but we have some serious problems. We have a crisis, okay, with our young people when it comes to weed, promiscuity, and alcohol consumption. I don't want to say I don't know what the answers are, but it's very multifaceted, and it's very concerning. And I don't even want to get too caught up because it's something that really, I'm really struggling with it because quite often I will be caught in the middle of a lot of these calls and a lot of the situations that are happening. And I don't know that the government actually cares. And I'm gonna be quite frank. When I say the government, let me just restructure that. I don't believe that the people who have been hired through our votes to care for matters like these, I don't think they really care about the social issues of the BVI. I don't know. I know that things have changed so much, and I cannot be one of those who say things have changed because children are different. Your children are gonna be exactly how you raise them to be. right? So we can't sit down and say, I can't sit down and say, oh, my son smokes a lot, he's a weed head, and that's somebody else's problem, right? It's our problem. The parents, the teachers, it's everybody, the whole community that have been given these children to care for. And yes, it starts at home, but whether we want to admit it or accept it or not, the fact is that, even if a mother might say, don't say nothing to my child, that doesn't mean that we have to turn our backs on all of these children and just watch them and talk about them. We could still find ways to just talk to these children. I'm telling you, this generation is absolutely lost inside themselves. There's no guidance, there's no real help. There's like they're not focused on at all. And this conversation is going to drive me into another conversation that I know that I'm going to take a serious flogging for. And I don't mind. I honestly don't mind because the situation in the BVI is actually dire. And it has come from a lot of things, a lot of things that we have allowed to happen and fall apart. But you have a young child in a primary school with bags of weed. And I'm going to say two probably sell in a primary school. We've known for times and we've understood for times that they sell weed and drugs in the high school. Who is giving these children the weed or drugs to sell? We all know, We know, we talk about all of these things. All of us apparently have heard, and have ideas of what is going on in this territory. I'm going to say that again. Who really wants to do anything about it? We just whisper. We take the money. This also pushes me into having to talk about the situation with young girls in this territory. Information came to me again over the weekend of the severe crisis that we have with older men sleeping with these underage girls in high school, their mothers selling them into prostitution to make ends meet. The rise in STDs. We have a serious crisis in the BVI. Our young people could feel nothing but loss in thinking that that is really the way of life that's afforded unto them. When these men and these older men and these married men with girlfriends and wives sleeping with these girls, transmitting diseases between the young girls and their wives and their girlfriends. The BVI High School, as I understand it, there is an outbreak of STDs amongst the young girls. Does the government care? They don't care. They don't care. Our social issues, they don't matter. And the BVI, and I've said it for at least the last 3 elections, the BVI needs a government that is going to focus on the social issues that this territory has going on. This territory is bursting. Let me not say it's bursting, it's burst open. Our social issues are dire. I'm not lying, and y'all know I'm not lying. Y'all know I'm not lying. Y'all know I'm not lying. We have a serious crisis in the BVI. Primary school children selling weed in school, in primary school. They're smoking their lives away. They're drinking their lives away. And the promiscuity with our young girls and mothers who can't make ends meet and allowing their girls to do this. Let's add in the social media fake lifestyle, of course, that these girls look at every single day and what they want to have. And, they get it. The older men giving them what they want, taking care of their families, the STDs. And I know you guys have seen the headlines. You've seen the headlines. There were headlines not too long ago that STDs are on the rise. It's a serious crisis the BVI have going on right now. So when, they're messaging me and talking to me, and I'm not sleeping with a goddamn soul, not Cindy. I will starve till thy kingdom come. Those toys will have to do. And I feel deep concern because the information is just, it is what it is. There's only so much that you can hide under the rug. Eventually things blow to hell. Things blow to hell. So when it has to be a conversation of the young girls, they're filled with STDs and serious STDs. And the older men, the married men, they're all sleeping with these young girls in school. Nobody's doing anything about it. They don't want to talk about it. Stephen Payne, let's go back down St. Thomas quickly. Stephen Payne, that senator from St. Thomas that slept with the underage girl. He got 25 years. They just gave him 25 years last week. 25 years in jail. While over here, we don't want to say anything. We're not going to talk about it. We have a crisis in the BVI, like a serious crisis. And we have to be very, very worried. We have to be very worried. Very worried. You have young girls. They have children from time to the age of 14 and 15. For big men. Who are these men? We know who they are. We know who they are. When I was growing up, if you got a young girl pregnant, it didn't matter what her parents say, That young girl had to say who that child was for, and that man was going to be arrested. Anytime you got a young girl pregnant. Here, they're trying to say to you now, oh, if the parents don't complain, then you have 14 and 15-year-old girls that are pregnant for big ass men. For big men. Some of these girls, by the time they reach 22, 21, 22, they don't have 5 children. Back to back. They can't hold down a job, which means they either have to live on their parents for a duration of time and the parents aren't allowing it. So they out here, they don't have anywhere to turn. And yeah, we could say, there's social services, but how much can social services do? And do they have the funding to do what they really need to do? And what is their mandate? What is their mandate? And when they're, pushing that mandate, are they supported when they're doing it? Any government agency that has to do what they have to do, are they supported? or our whole system is falling apart because of votes. It always comes back to that. Because if a grown ass man does something and he's arrested, there's everybody to be called to throw this thing under the rug. So the police get their hands tied, social services get their hands tied. It can't make it to court. And even when they make it to court in there, your hands tied in there too. They're losing information in there too. So how do we get a better society? This place is so out of whack and crazy. It's so out of whack and crazy that big men who are sleeping with little girls, getting children for these little girls, and these girls are out there on their own because they get knocked up, and these guys aren't supporting these children. And the vicious cycle continues. Children left on their own because the mother gotta go out to work. She gotta find work. If she can't find work or not, abusive men coming in on her. The children seeing this, they abuse themselves. The fucking cycle continues and continues. And we, us that think that we're good. My children are good. I don't have to worry about that. All of us have to worry about it. Because how do you know who your child is gonna end up with? Everybody here is intermingled in the same schools. You can send them whichever school you want to send them. None of us can escape what is happening. And we have to find a way to fix it. It is very, very serious. The BVI has a serious crisis going on. I don't say, based on the level of drinking that our young people are doing, the dialysis unit down at the hospital, they're not even gonna make it to 40. They're not even gonna make it to 40, I'm telling you. At the very young age in which they're consuming alcohol and marijuana. I feel very sad, for the situation that involves our young people, because it's a mountain. It's a mountain to climb, and it comes from a lot of things. And it comes from a lot of things. I'm very tempted. I might get into it further down in this conversation, but as of this moment, I'm going to take a short break, maybe about a 2-minute break, and I'll come right back, okay?
Rise and shine, nation. Grab your bush tea. Cindy Rosen in the building. Let's break it down. The morning facts with Cindy Rosen. How the country running, we break it down. Facts in the morning, no gimmicks, no spin. Educate, empower, let the day begin. Sunrise busting over hills and sea. Radio on, tune in frequency. From policy talk to community news. She asks the questions, bring real truth. No long talk, straight to the point. Facts so clean, they anoint. From the people voice to the leader's seat. She connect the dots, make sense of it. If you want knowledge, tune in early. If you want clarity, don't come late. The morning facts with Cindy Rosen. How the country running, we break it down. A chance undone in pound and two. Electrifying facts for me and you. Economy, health, education. Youth, them future, the whole foundation. Culture, law, accountability. She hold the line for transparency. Not just talk, context and insight. So you can reason and get it right. Morning boost for your mind and and soul. Information is power. Take control. Grab your bush tea, clear your head. Start your day properly fed. Who got the facts? Who got the facts? Cindy. Who asks the hard questions? Who keep it real every morning? Daily talk show. Daily talk show. Covering the issues. It drops an empire. Electrifying. Powerful morning booze. The morning facts with Cindy Rose, and from sunrise talk to national plan. Facts in the morning so we understand. Strong mind, strong people, stronger land. The morning facts with Cindy Rose, and from sunrise talk to national plan. Facts in the morning so we understand. Strong mind, strong people, stronger land. Before you step out, before you decide, get the facts in the morning and walk with pride. The morning facts with Cindy Rosen. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Rise and shine, nation. Grab your bush tea, Cindy Rosen in the building. Let's break it down. The morning facts with Cindy Rosen. How the country running, we break it down. Facts in the morning, no gimmicks, no spin. Educate, empower, let the day begin. Sunrise busting over hills and sea. Radio on, tune in frequency. From policy talk to community news. She asked the questions, bring real truth. No long talk, straight to the point. Facts so clean, they anoint. From the people voice to the leader's seat. She connect the dots, make sense of it. If you want knowledge, tune in early. If you want clarity, don't come late. The morning facts with Cindy Rose, on how the country running, we break it down. A chance undone in pound and two. Electrifying facts for me and you. Economy, health, education, youth them future, the whole foundation. Culture, law, accountability. She hold the line for transparency. Not just talk, context and insight. So you can reason and get it right. Morning boost for your mind and soul. Information is power. Take control. Grab your bush tea, clear your head. Start your day properly fed. Who got the facts? Who got the facts? Cindy. Who asks the hard questions? Who keep it real every morning? Daily talk show. Daily talk show. Covering the issues. It drops an empire. Electrifying. Powerful morning booze. The morning facts with Cindy Rose, and from sunrise talk to national plan. Facts in the morning so we understand. Strong mind, strong people, stronger land. The morning facts with Cindy Rose, and from sunrise talk to national plan. Facts in the morning so we understand. Strong mind, strong people, stronger land. Before you step out, before you decide, get the facts in the morning and walk with pride.
Sorry, welcome back. My camera guy set me up. He didn't unmute. Alrighty. I believe that from now until about 11, we should be on 90.9 FM. So, sorry, I was just getting a little bit more information. Alrighty. So I think we're good now, right? Yeah? All right. So I turn back on the mic. All right, sorry. I was just getting some further information on the on Topman Keys matter, and I'm grateful to this person. So basically, he was charged and brought before the court, and he was denied bail apparently, and he was to return to court, or is to return to court until April 20th. So he was remanded. However, that was based on whether the persons that were injured, to see, how they would be doing medically. And now that they're home, there's supposed to be another appearance this morning at the court, apparently, and there's some side negotiations happening, I think. But they're supposed to appear again in court maybe this morning. So hopefully he would be able to be released. All right. So again, there are some events that have happened, and I'm not going to release everything that I was told today. I'm just going to try to get some more information. But again, I'm going to wish him the best and hope that the matter is resolved today, and that he can come back home. All righty. Yeah. So, yeah. So, when I chuckle, my chuckle is never really a chuckle. I think you guys know that by now. Yeah. Um, yeah. So unfortunately, there's serious situations going on concerning our young people, and I personally feel like they're out there on their own, really and truly, and they're having to deal with a lot, because we think like a child is supposed to know better, but a child knows what they've been brought up in, and until they're exposed to something different, then they can't start making, you know they might know that something that's happening to them is not right, but what's this? What is happening? I don't know. um are you guys seeing something else on my screen that I'm not seeing? Are you guys seeing something else? Ugh. Alrighty. Alrighty. Yeah, so that can't be my screen. That might be your screen, but thank you for alerting me. Okay, that was her screen. I was a little concerned because I'm like, what? All right, we good. We good. Sorry about that. All right. Okay. Alrighty. Alrighty. So sorry about that. So here we go. So yeah, there's a lot going on with our young people. And it's very concerning. And I know some of the teachers have their hands full. I know some of them have no idea how to deal with the situations that they face with every day. Again, we can pull a whole day, and I can pull a team of people together, and we can sit down, we can have this conversation around a table, and it'll be live. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm saddened like every time, more and more information comes through, and And the fact that we really know what's going on, I think, is what hurts me the most. We know what's going on and everything is hidden. We actually know a lot of these older men that sleeping with these younger girls. Oh God, y'all want me to get killed in this place. I know. Like sometimes that again is space where I'm like, I just feel like unloading everything on society and bringing down everything. But God is good. It can come out on its own. Everything can come out eventually. Everything is gonna come out eventually. Let's go on to some more of the headlines as we come after. It's going after 10 right now. I want to talk about our borrowing capacity. I touched on it on Thursday, and I want to touch on it again right now as I found out some other information. And again, some of the things that I say, I break down some facts that were brought to me, is how I see it. And so I talk about it. So you guys know that we borrowed $100 million about a year and a half ago from First Caribbean Bank in the Cayman Islands. And we're now starting to use that money as we head into this road to elections. So a lot of that money is gonna get used. Well, not a lot. The premier already said he's gonna use every cent. So you know that we have $100 million loan. And I want to believe, and can somebody message me and correct me? Maybe anybody that's listening. I believe that $100 million is the most money we've ever borrowed. And I'd say from an outside entity, because we've taken money out of Social Security. We borrowed money out of Social Security. I think we borrowed $40 million to finish the hospital. I know we had that $65 million that Andrew threw up in the air and he gave it to everybody. Well, not everybody, the fisher folk, people who weren't even fishers and farmers and people to go to school. That $65 million. But I believe the $100 million is the most we've ever borrowed. If somebody could let me know, I want to believe so. Anyway, so we have that $100 million that's sitting out there to pay back that we just started using or that we're going to use on the road to election. And then on Thursday, we talked about the headline where, Claude Skelton Klein was saying that the UK is burying the loan that we want to get under bureaucracy. So we have that. But as far as I'm understanding, and I saw Honorable Malin spoke about it in the news, that we're really capped out at our borrowing. So this $300 to $400 million that we want to borrow from to do the airport and the extension and everything. I don't know if we're going to borrow it all at once, but they want to go ahead and start doing some things. And so they need to borrow money because we don't have any money. We don't have any money to do anything at the airport. And the $100 million was borrowed mostly for infrastructural issues and, for other little things. So we're kind of at our cap. And so we've got to, at this point, again, like I said before, get permission from the UK based on all, borrowing guidelines and the fact that we've reached the threshold. I'm seeing Honorable Penn saying we could probably only borrow another 20 million, like that's it. And then we're at full capacity. So they have to get permission from the UK to borrow this money to do a major project like the airport project, right? I learned something over the past couple of days, and then I checked with someone this morning to find out if that was indeed the case. And even so, the person that I checked with, they're looking at it differently to me. So I'm just gonna say this, and I'm gonna tell you what I think. Okay, that's not what the government is saying. I'm just gonna tell you what I think. So I learned this morning that the IMF has been in the territory for the past 3 weeks. All right. I learned that the IMF has been in the territory for the past 3 weeks. And we know who the IMF is, right? The International Monetary Fund, IMF. So I made a call this morning. I was told that yes, they're here and that they've been doing some training. Hey, hey, thank you, my dear. You're getting to where I'm getting to. That they've been doing some training with, areas of government, particularly finance. Now, I'm sorry, but again, my little those little twinkie things that go off in my head because, all right, did I do, policy advice and so forth, right? Did I do training too? I'm kind of hearing that this morning. That was something that was said. But I believe, right? I believe that we want to borrow the money that we need to do this airport from IMF. Now, that thing is so king weird to me, right? The moment I heard that they were here, that's the only thing that made sense to me, right? Because they have this thing, this proposal up in the UK that, the UK hasn't approved yet. And Claude Klein, he's saying that everything they borrow every second, they have something to say. It's like they're burying it in bureaucracy. But normally when you do that, it's because they're probably seeing something definitely wrong with the angle or the direction that our government wants to take. I understand they've been here for 3 weeks. They've had meetings with cabinet. They're doing trainings within financial services. We don't have anything at all for the IMF here. So one, I might be being ignorant in saying I don't see why they're here and why they need to be here. Right? I might be. Somebody said they're doing some training. Training for what? Training for what? Even the Caribbean Development Bank, who we do borrow from, they can do the same training. There are other agencies and entities that you could use to do trainings if you are not comfortable with, how government projects are going or whatever. There are a lot of entities that you can use, but nobody is going to tell me that the IMF is not here on the ground because that's who we're looking to borrow from. Every Caribbean entity is trying to claw their way out of dealings with the IMF, and here we are climbing into it. Is it that when we speak, like all leaders can't hear? I don't even want to call them leaders, all politicians can't hear when we speak. One of the biggest reasons the NDP was voted out because they didn't hear that we said that we didn't want a loan from the Chinese to do the airport. They didn't hear us. And that was one of the big reasons that they were voted out for that whole Chinese situation. And here now we hear with the IMF. And this person is right. That's exactly what the IMF is, a freaking debt trap. A debt trap. Not death. Debt. All right? So I want you all to be clear on what I'm saying. Yeah. The IMF has been here for the past 3 weeks. We don't have a penny from the IMF. And yet that's who, we're selected to come here and do a damn training. Do what training? They just here to see how we function financially, how we handle certain things, because they want to make sure that when they put this money in, they could get back all that they put in and whatever else. Maybe they'll go with the whole territory. Maybe we need to be messaging the governor and telling him to tell the UK we don't want the IMF in here. I don't know how we'll get to get this loan from, but I'm sure there are other entities that we can use. Okay? But the IMF, the Caribbean, is trying to claw their way out of the stronghold that entity has on them. And we here looking at IMF. The IMF owned Barbados. We simply know that, right? No. That's not the route that we want to take. And I beg, please do not simply look at, the IMF is here doing some kind of training. No, it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. You got Claude there screaming about the UK and their bureaucracy and trying to hold down. So There's a reason. There has to be a reason. There has to be a reason. They'll pretty it up and dance it up and say, oh, colonialism again, and they don't want us to get any further. $400 million is a lot of money. Our annual budget is $500 million. $400 million is a lot of money. And to owe it to an entity like the IMF, and we don't know their history, we do not want the IMF in here. I was so shocked. I don't know how our guys are sit down and literally come up with this bullshit. I just don't know like what be going on in their head. It's so annoying and sickening. Well, the IMF in here. Doing what? Doing what? I just don't know what else to say and do about these guys. I swear to God. And that's why he said I could never digest, people like Lana and people like Stacey Mata, and they're crossing over, and then everything that goddamn premier says, their head is all the way up in his kabunka. I don't know how long y'all going to just sit down and be just absent with whatever is going on in this territory. Y'all have been really absent. And even when you get information, you just sit down and you don't do anything about it. Yeah. Barbados sucked right in. Like they can't get away from the IMF no time soon. And they owe the IMF so much money. Then somebody else about Jamaica. Yeah. People have a stronghold, like a tight squeeze around the Caribbean thing. And now we want to get in bed with the IMF. Everybody running from the IMF and we running to the IMF. We're weird. We're weird people. You could look and see what your Caribbean brothers and sisters have gone through with the IMF, and you hear about IMF. Like, really? You're a sick bunch of puppies. Anywho. Someone says if we borrow from the IMF, that's it for all financial services. IMF ridiculous austerity policies that do not help the community or the lender. Well, the only thing you can say, my girl, is vote them out of office. Yes, that's all I could say. And like I say, I can continue to bring the information, and based on what we do going into the next election and how that works, I'm telling you guys, I am gonna pivot. This whole conversation that I keep having, and because I keep telling y'all this is not entertainment. I'm not sitting with y'all for entertainment purposes. This is all real life. It's the future of the BVI, which means it's the future of every one of our single children, every single one of our children. Yeah, the leader of our country, Mr. Premier, PhD equals permanent head damage. I want to agree with you, because stuff just don't add up. And of course, it's up to them. They can come out and say that I'm wrong, that no, the IMF is only here for training. Let them come out and say, we are not borrowing from the IMF. We have not decided, but I think they have decided. I think they have decided. And the IMF is in here scouting to see that we can handle what they're about to unload on us. Okay? I don't see no other bloody reason for the IMF to be in here. So let's go on to some other headlines, because I want to take another break. I ain't gonna be able to make my 3, but at least I'll make the 2 because I went longer than I was supposed to think. Let me just jump into some quick headlines. I'm gonna do this quickly. The chief of police, the acting chief of police. Yes, the head of his kabunka, whatever y'all understand what that means. Anyway, the acting chief of police that we brought in, commissioner of police that we brought in here, I believe it was either the end of November or December, that the commissioner said was going to be here for 3 months. He has extended his contract, which we all knew that he would. He has extended his contract. And again, all of our leaders are quite quiet, and we had a march against that. Of course, it didn't go that well because, people felt like, government is doing the exact same thing that the governor is doing. And I quite agree. And I believe that the march and the protest turned too political for my liking. I've said it. I hate that it turned out that way. But yeah, he has extended his contract. And to be honest, I believe that he is going to make his contract permanent. That's my belief. I see that the commissioner of police, the acting commissioner of police, he's going to be on talking points this afternoon. And again, like I said, the governor has a press conference this afternoon. So, he's comfortable now. He's going to go make his rounds. Well, they don't come to me. Well, let me invite him and see what he says. But they don't come to me. They're afraid to talk to me because I don't have time for petty conversations. But anyway, yes, I did hear the same thing. And I said that a few times on this thing since I've come on here. You have heard that a little birdie told me that election is going to be in November. I don't know if that is true, but I do believe that it's going to be this year, and I do believe it's going to be sometime after the summer. That's what I believe. That's just what I believe. I'm not saying that is going to be the case, okay? So yes, I did hear that election is going to be in November. I've said it a few times on this platform. Anyway, yeah, so his contract has been extended. Alrighty. So there's this headline in the news that I want to talk about. I don't know if I did on Friday, on Thursday, but I don't think I did. Let me pull it up really quickly. I believe it's on BBI News. And if I did speak about it on Thursday, you guys will let me know. Let me see if you guys were listening. So there's a headline here that says Smith responds to parasitic debate accusation. So one of the things Honorable Myron Walwyn has been known to say, he said it a few times, that the government does not come to the House prepared to debate. And from what he can see and what he's experienced before, they don't read the legislations. They just come and they just talk. Right? So he has said that more often than not, the government allows the opposition to start the debate on which is crazy to me, because if you bring a bill, you got to debate it and I have to respond. I have to be the last. If I'm on the opposition, I have to be the last to say anything. But I don't know how the guidelines really work in the House of Assembly. So let me just say that straight out the gate. So he has called it a parasitic, right? Debate style, where, the opposition would debate first on any bill that comes to the House. They give their positions and their views, what they think about it, what could be changed, which, etc. They do all the reading and whatever, and then the exact same things that the opposition point out in the bills, that would be the only things that the government itself get up in the House and talk about. They don't bring anything different. They just go against what the opposition has pointed out in the bill to be troubled areas. Now, Lorna Smith, she seemed to want to respond to everything Myron says. Well, maybe because he's the opposition leader, so I guess he says more than anybody. But she seemed to be always on the attack with him. And I don't tell y'all, I don't really want to talk about her, because unless she's talking about the Bank of Asia and clarifying that whole situation, she's non-existent. to me. But I'm bringing it up because it's under her, but all of them continue to do it. And we watch House of Assembly unfold, and we see it all the time. We see it all the time. The opposition gets up, they give their position on the bill, they pull out trouble areas that they think will be trouble areas for the people. And then every single member of the government side, they get up and they talk about those exact same things and they push back on those things. They don't ever bring out anything other than, you know what I mean? For debate. So, but I could say like the VIP, I'm gonna go back to 2019 when they were elected. They came in under a whole umbrella of unpreparedness. They had no plans, even on the campaign trail, and we can all say that. I know we all remember, even on the campaign trail, all of their campaigning was around issues that people were outraged about. Like if they saw something going on social media and people outraged about something, that would be their campaign conversation for the next campaign or whatever, whichever podium they were going to be on next. So they came into office with no plan. And from 2019 to this point, although, you know, it's a new premier that was elected 2023, the same VIP, they have absolutely no plans. Like zero plans. You know, I could look at Honorable Sherry and I could see she keeps her head down because she has her plans and she's going ahead with what she wants education to look like. But ask any of them else if they have something going on. Well, they just don't have any plans. And that's why 2019 to this point, going into a third election, they really can't show us nothing that they have accomplished or completed. Am I wrong? Yeah, live here just like me, and I can't put my hands on anything. They just turned on the, ooh, Lord, let me send. I gotta do this. Oh my God, Honorable Kai is gonna kill me, but he's gonna be just fine. Ma'am, I cannot tell you if it's true. I heard just like you. How the hell would I know when election going to be? Let me send this to my camera guy quick. Because I was gonna say that they just turned on what they say is a lift up there in a lift up there. So I sent this picture to my camera guy and I want him to bring it up. Sewage has been a continued issue in this territory. So, you know, if they want to say, well, we turned that on, okay, we turned it on, but look what Slaney woke up to this morning. I'm going to ask my camera guy to put that up on his screen. And yeah, he's saying, hold on, but he's going to, when he can, he's going to put that up on the screen. Well, somebody said give them credit for the pump station if it actually works. Well, we got to see if it works. Lana Smith, the vulture, gots to go. I quite agree. All right, so yeah, so I'm gonna give him a minute. So I can't put my hand on something that we can actually credit to them, and I'm not being mean to them. I'm just being honest. You know, Lana would like to go on and on and on about financial services and thinking she's the financial services matriarch, but we end up on blacklist, gray list, purple list while she's at the head. So you could miss me with that one. All right, so it's a lift station. All right. So yes, so they turned that on. So we'll wait to see if that actually works, but I can't put my hand on anything that they have done. And I could tell you, I could show you a picture as soon as my camera guy is ready. I could show you a picture that, you know, Slaney woke up to this morning. And this again isn't anything new for us, but I don't know if someone at the pump station isn't working in that area, but that is raw sewage. I'm looking at in the water. And when the picture goes up, you guys can tell me if that is actually the case, because I think that's the case. What does that look like to you guys? This dark spot here. That's what Slaney woke up to this morning. And that is not new. That is not new. Fraser will tell you he don't eat any fish from the BVI. And he was the Minister of Communications and works at one point where water and sewage fell under him. So if he could say he don't eat fish from the BVI, and he said that over and over on public podiums in the House of Assembly, he has said he does not eat any fish from the BVI. So what I tell us? That's what Slaney woke up to this morning. Raw ass sewage. Put up the picture again. Raw ass sewage out in the water. And like I said, that is nothing new. That big brown spot you see there, it's nothing new. A concerned citizen sent it to me very early this morning. You know, and I said, well, yeah. And they're proud. They get on podiums and they talk, and everywhere they go to, even, you know, if they're gonna open a door, they're all there. All of them are there. All of them have to get the picture moment. You know, I'm like, and you have raw ass sewage sitting right there. Right there. All right. So on that note, I'm going to take one last short break. I'm going to make it 60 seconds because I really want to give my advertisers, very sad, my advertisers, the opportunity to get their ads out there. All right. So we'll take another 60-second break and we'll come right back.
Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Rise and shine nation. Grab your bush tea. Cindy Rosen in the building. Let's break it down. The morning facts with Cindy Rosen. How the country running, we break it down. Facts in the morning, no gimmicks, no spin. Educate, empower, let the day begin. Sunrise busting over hills and sea. Radio on, tune in frequency. From policy talk to community news. She asks the questions, bring real truth. No long talk, straight to the point. Facts so clean, they anoint. From the people voice to the leader's seat. She connect the dots, make sense of it. If you want knowledge, tune in early. If you want clarity, don't come late. The morning facts with Cindy Rosen. How the country running, we break it down. A chance undone in pound and two. Electrifying facts for me and you. Economy, health, education. Youth and future, the whole foundation. Culture, law, accountability. She hold the line for transparency. Not just talk, context and insight. So you can reason and get it right. Morning boost for your mind and soul. Information is power. Take control. Grab your bush tea. Clear your head. Start your day. Properly fed. Who got the facts? Who got the facts? Cindy. Who asks the hard questions? Who keep it real every morning? Cindy. Daily talk show. Daily talk show. Covering the issues. It drops an empire. Electrifying. Powerful morning booze. The morning facts with Cindy Rosen. From sunrise talk to national plan. Facts in the morning so we understand. Strong mind, strong people, stronger land. The morning facts with Cindy Rosen. From sunrise talk to national plan. Facts in the morning so we understand. Strong mind, strong people, stronger land. Before you step out, before you decide, get the facts in the morning and walk with pride. The morning facts with Cindy Rosen.
Welcome back to the morning facts. The weather is a bit gloomy today, isn't it? It's not bad, but alrighty. So welcome back. Let me just give you guys the menus for today from my two. So we have the pub for today. They have chicken and pumpkin soup. They have jerk barbecue chicken, shrimp Caesar wrap with seasoned fries, pan fried grouper with lemon in butter sauce. They have crispy fried pork chops with parmesan wedges and coleslaw. There comes the rain. For sides, oh, for sides they have peas and rice, garlic mashed potatoes, sautéed vegetables, and coleslaw. And they have a free drink with all lunch orders. All right. So at the pub we have jerk barbecue chicken. They have chicken and pumpkin soup. They have jerk barbecue chicken, shrimp Caesar wrap with seasoned fries. They have pan fried grouper with lemon butter sauce. They have crispy fried pork chops with parmesan wedges and coleslaw. And their sides is peas and rice, garlic, mashed potatoes. Hal,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Let's see. I'm not sure that people can hear you. Let me see. Go ahead and speak. Can you guys let me know if you can hear Hull? Because today's a difficult call for difficult call-ins. But go ahead and speak, Hull. Let me see if they can hear you.
Yes, good morning, Cindy. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Nice to hear you this morning back on the air. Listen, I just thinking about the wave. Is the health department just get involved with these situations with sewage going on in the water? It happened in the area, even to Foster right there where Port Foster where all of those yappies.
Yeah.
The water going down there where these people have their business boats and things like that. So my question I always say, if the health department don't be a concern and don't get involved with these sewage running in the sea.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to go inquire now.
Because it is a serious situation where business running, these people have the boat, the expensive boat, and here we have a pump right there in Fossil to Colin, water running into the sea. So my thing is, where is the health persons? You never hear them speak about this thing on radio, that they serious, they have to do something, whether who government or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're getting things right.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, it's quite interesting. Somebody said, Cindy, the eruption of raw sewage at Slaney has been perpetual. Yes, that's why I said it's been ongoing. And I told the person that sent it to me that it has been, it's really not a new thing. Had that raw sewage erupted occurred in a predominantly Anglo-Saxon neighborhood or area or government, and its leaders would be bowing down and making sure. Well, actually not, because Cindy, we are too colonized, and Cindy, all 30 members of government got to go. Well, I could definitely say that affects even down in the Hannah's, like out in that area, actually where they are, and they've talked about it forever, and like nothing has happened. I just don't understand how we, just like as a small nation with such a huge freaking budget, like these types of things that we literally have these types of issues, like literally.
My question, Cindy, is they have picked the pump, spend some money running this business over at Downport, but over where the police have the boat business over there on that side. I know hurricane had destroyed in some kind of a home, which they spend some money from round about build things straight down there. I wonder how that's working. I mean, some time ago it seemed like I heard it say it was back up, but how back up, how good it is working. That's the question about it, because they spend some money funding some pipe straight down yonder. And I think that pump is supposed to fix a lot of problems. My thing is, where is the health person who's supposed to be dealing with these matters, even to the village area where a lot of junk happen there? It should be what's in that pot of water in the or village where you have your expensive boat and into these areas. That's my thing is, Cindy, which I'd like to hear you. My thing is, where is the health people speaking about raw sewage going into the sea?
Yeah.
Which again, also is one, because when they pass, they walk in, and also you will hear the water coming from the pump and going along the sea. And our port also have a lot of yachts doing business over there.
Yeah. They're saying all down Parkwood Pond, there's an area that you see it all the time. Like you literally see it. And I'm telling you, Fraser, who was a minister for communications and works, and this is a long time ago, he telling you straight up he don't eat no fish from the BVI.
Listen, let me tell you something.
So for him having held that position and him saying that, we should, Yep. All right, you gone? All right, so I think he's gone. All right, so let me just read over the menu really quickly. So for the pub, they have chicken and pumpkin soup, jerk barbecue chicken, shrimp Caesar wrap with seasoned fries. They have pan-fried grouper with lemon butter sauce. And they have crispy fried pork chops with parmesan wedges and coleslaw. And their sides are peas and rice, garlic mashed potatoes, sauteed vegetables, and coleslaw, and you get a free lunch with their drink. Yes, Hall, you dropped out?
I'm not thinking young people are digging the air. I'm getting because I'm supposed to dig the air and they get cut down.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's mine. Before I come up again. This morning I hear on the news about the high school, Cindy.
Mm-hmm.
You know that high school have a lot of problems.
Well, it's not just the high school, but it does. Our young people in the BVI facing a lot. It's everywhere. The high schools, the private ones, the government ones, it's everywhere.
That high school, right, was rushed for political business.
What do you mean, the physical building?
I can't accommodate the new building that they built at the high school.
Well, that's the least of the problem, but go ahead.
But it was a rush because, my good friend tried to pull a quick election, but he happened and he ended. But the building was rushed. And that's why I listened to the news this morning and hear the minister speak about a lot of issues that the building has.
Oh, okay.
And that's when they try to play politics with things and be serious and stop using these things for voting gain. And that's what has happened. Majority these things that happen to bribe people when election come around. I mean, I see that they have one time I small. They put a poster all around the place, so they're building this. And when the election got the poster come down, but they build.
Yeah.
I saw some to the old school business. They like to fool the people. But when I heard on the news this morning about the high school, it ain't a surprise. It was quick done because of the election. So these things, I'm done the thing about it enough, Cindy. What I'm speaking to you. You know, when you hear speaking about the things and that the people know, and you're speaking about it, they get back. They're like, so.
Only some of them get vexed. Those that don't want it highlighted get vexed. But, you know, you just got to keep pushing and keep talking.
Yeah, get vexed. I mean, I have to say before I leave, good morning to them who don't like to hear me, and thanks for them who like to hear me. But Cindy, you have the rest of the time. I have more things to say, but I'm going to listen to you again.
All right, no problem. Mm-hmm. You might call back in because I'm going to hit a topic here that might hurt your chest, but bye. So, all right, let me do these restaurant really quickly. So for these, which is upstairs of frozen imports, their menu for today is baby back ribs, jerk chicken leg, local fish in Creole sauce, and they have beef tripe. Their sides today, they have white rice, spinach rice, fried plantain, stew beans, and steamed vegetables. All right. So on their menu today, they have baby back ribs, jerk chicken leg, they have local fish in Creole sauce, and they have beef tripe, and their sides are white rice, spinach rice, fried plantain, stew beans, and steamed vegetables. All right, so I want to pick up this topic right here. I think it's over here on our good friends Vino. There's a headline I saw over here. I think it's over here. I saw it. Okay, here it is. Here it is. I wrote it down different. So I was looking for that actual headline, but I made my topic different. So the headline is actually Virgin Islanders being pushed out of local real estate market, Claude Skelton Klein. And so why I wrote my topic the way I wrote it is because you know what is in the content in here. So what Claude is basically saying is that are and what you know, right? And so he's calling for revision of the access to the Virgin Islands real estate market given to persons with non-belongers, landholders, licenses. So what I find, well, I don't find it interesting. I'm just going to say what I say, what I'm about to say. All right. Lavity Stout, back in the day, he made it through legislation very difficult for locals to not sell their property. So the market, and the market is really and truly kind of supposed to remain quite closed, and certain legislations in place kind of make it difficult to for non-belongers to purchase property. So he's saying that, you know, I'm going to go over my time today. He's saying that the NDP, that is the NDP's fault. That is the NDP's fault that the market is so wide open, and you know, the government is giving, you know, because, you know, if you're not from the BVI and you don't have, if you're not from the BVI and you want to buy land, it has to go through cabinet. It has to go through cabinet, and cabinet can decide to approve or not approve. And so, sometimes it takes very long, and sometimes, it doesn't take very long. Again, all of this stuff falls under, they do whatever they want. Let me just say it like that. But what Claude is saying is that the NDP, under the NDP, the market was open up a lot more. And this is where I tell you that I'm going to get myself in some hot water here. And I'm going to say what I have to say anyway. Okay? A lot of the situations where the BVI finds itself today in 2026, I'm going to blame the NDP for it. And I don't want people to take it in a way like I'm against like any particular people or anything. When you're concentrating on developing a country, there are things that needs to go along with it. And when you're going to get rid of certain laws and legislations because you might think that, I don't want to use the word oppressive, I want to use the word where you think, oh, what's the word? The word is at the tip of my head, or tip of my tongue. The word could be prejudicial, but that's not exactly the word I'm looking for. When you come in and you look at certain legislations and you feel, that you want to change them because they might be prejudicial or not fair, and you don't really do the full-on research to understand why those legislations were in place in the very beginning, you create a nightmare. And I think a lot of where we find ourselves socially in the BVI is because our systems are overwhelmed. And we've lifted certain legislations because we felt like maybe they weren't fair. But we didn't think that, okay, if we lift this, we need to have certain things in place. I'm going to explain to you what I mean. And I know y'all going to take it personal. And I'm going to tell you, it's neither here nor there for me. Okay? I'm going to tell you how I feel because the realities are the realities. I don't know if these legislations have come off of our books, but they must have come off because they're no longer there or they're not adhered to. And when legislation isn't adhered to at the level at which it's happening here in the BVI, that means it was lifted. And I have to go and check. And anybody for labor, if you're listening to me, you could tell me whether that particular legislation was lifted or not. Prior, if you were coming here to work, and I know Judge are going to call back. If you were coming here to work, okay, you weren't allowed to, one, bring your family if you couldn't afford to have your family here. So if your salary couldn't afford to feed your whole family and keep your family here, then you couldn't bring your family. It wouldn't have been approved. You would have had to prove that, you can afford to take care of your family, send them to private school, and so forth, okay? Secondly, if you came to work as a female and you got pregnant, of course you could get pregnant, you could do whatever you want, but you weren't allowed to have your child here. You would have to go back to where you came and have your child. Now, if you were having a child by a Virgin Islander, then it was fine because, of course, the child is going to be a Virgin Islander. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that all the problems that we are facing is because of these things, but I'm telling you, it is a big part because our structures are overloaded. And I'm gonna do two things. Okay? You have a mom in the Virgin Islands, right? That has come here to work. And she's making a salary of maybe $1,500. We all know at this space and time that it's hard to live here on that. So you're gonna have to double up, triple up, you know, have family support, etc. With that, she gets pregnant a few times. Okay, the children are born here, which means now they become our responsibility, the responsibility of social services in the BVI, because she's going to find herself in trouble. There's a difference with a Virgin Islander in the BVI that's probably working on the same salary, but they have the support of family here. Most times when people come here to work, they're looking for a better life. And people are going to get them, they're going to run into things, they're going to get pregnant. Life will continue. But the fact that you will lift certain legislations in that anybody can come in, anybody can have their children down at the hospital, you know, the checks and balances are no longer there. You know, they have all these children, you're calling on socials, the whole social fabric is falling apart, and we did not prepare ourselves for something like that. So it's one thing to lift legislation to say, you know, it's not fair to say to a mother that, or a father that he can't bring his family. But if they can bring their family, you have to make sure and put it in place that they are able to take care of them. Because if you're not putting things in place and improving or infrastructure in all different government entities to afford what is going on, you turn the BVI into a slump. And listen, again, people are going to get offended, and it's going to roll off on my back. Because all of us can watch and see what's going on. Yes, they consider them outdated, but really, are they outdated? On what today's conditions are, they certainly don't suit today's conditions. Okay? The social infrastructure, the territory is overburdened. Okay, because to me, if you're going to say that a young lady or a woman or a man coming in here to work and they can bring their whole family, no matter what salary they're making, and I get it, like, you don't want to separate families. I get it. I understand the whole logic behind it, but you have to put things in place to maintain that, because now when they go down to social services, well, you're contradicting the laws, right? Because even if you said they can bring them in, the law says otherwise, right? There are certain things that you can't do for anyone if they're not a Virgin Islander or belanger. So you have to adjust all of these legislations, which didn't happen. So now they go down leaning on social services, and social services has to ask certain questions, right? And then social services can help you based on what the guidelines and legislation that they have before them. And then what happens after that? These people have to find other ways to take care of their families that you have allowed to come here. They have to find other ways to take care of them. And then you have an overburdened educational system, because children must be educated. And if they live here, they have to be in school. They must be in school. So you're bringing them in. You know they can't afford to send them to private school. Where are they going? So my thing isn't that this is just about real estate. It's about everything. And I feel like the BVI has totally gotten away and in trying to develop here at a, like, we put the cart before the horse always. Oh, I feel bad. I just tell people all the time, my dad isn't from here. But that doesn't determine how I feel about where the Virgin Islands has to go. The man that I was married to, he isn't from here. But I cannot think about where he's from to determine where the Virgin Islands. It has nothing to do with him. Where the Virgin Islands has to go, it has nothing to do with him. And so when you see Virgin Islanders get a little antsy when they say, certain things about certain positions being held, they want to know that when you're holding that position, whether your lifeline is from here or not, you've been given the ability to hold that position, that you can make decisions and you're committed and loyal to the Virgin Islands and where we need to be based on the mandate set forth from our forefathers. That's what that means. That's exactly what that means. Okay, and I'm telling you, a lot of the social issues that we're having is because we're overwhelmed. Our systems are overwhelmed, period. We're overwhelmed. And we also have not done a good job in terms of, the people that we allow in here to live amongst us. The BVI is bursting at its seams, bursting at its seams. There's nowhere that you can go in the BVI is bursting. I don't know a single soul when I go out in the BVI. Besides Virgin Islanders and, other, you wherever you turn, I have no idea who anyone is. And I know it's the same for a lot of people. It kind of becomes uncomfortable because you don't know who is around you. And based on a lot of things that we know and hear, the BVI is a very dangerous society. You literally don't know who's around you. Your children go to school, you don't know, they're walking down the road. You literally do not know what's going on around you in the BVI. We have totally lost grasp of our immigration, completely. We've completely lost grasp of our immigration. And you see that rollover policy that I keep talking about? I keep talking about that rollover policy. And, not one of these guys in office, and I understand the NDP was trying to bring it in, and I understand that Lana, I guess through her husband, killed it. And that's why I talk about, show the Virgin Islands that you're for the Virgin Islands. To me, Lana shows no aspect that she's for the Virgin Islands and Virgin Islanders. She came in, you let her come and sit in office, and she's done absolutely worse than anything. With labor, with people that she continues to bring in here to run government major departments, that doesn't show that you care about the Virgin Islands and where we need to be. The BVI is in a state. And I'm telling you, it is not long from now that we will not recognize the BVI. And when I say that, I mean the face of the Virgin Islands, period. What we look like will absolutely change. It will absolutely change. Absolutely change. We need a rollover policy with immediate effect in the BVI. It doesn't matter who is going to hurt. It's not about your friends. And, I know this one. So no, we need and I respect, and I'm going to tell you again, I respect Cayman so much for that, because they saw where they were going. And this was almost 20 years ago. Literally, it's about. They saw where it was heading and they knew that they had to do something. And they knew that it was a risk, but they stood fast, because for them, and I'm not saying, everything they do, works out for Cayman, but they're trying their best. And when they put that rollover policy on the table, the same conversations that all of the businesses here talk about, that means I'm going to have to keep rolling over my people and training people. Yes. And you know what? It's going to be just fine. Cayman is just fine. And there's no more outside investment here than in Cayman. Cayman has way more than us, like with their real estate, their financial services, and their tourism industry. They have way more outside investment than we have, period. And they have more nationalities in there too than we do. And Cayman sat and they listened to everything all the business owners and investors and everybody had to say. And they did not budge. They put in that rollover policy. And another thing that I really liked about their rollover policy, and I know y'all can run with this because I'm serious when I say it, I'm really serious about immigration in this territory because it's out of control. Okay? If they put that rollover policy in place on February 10th, 2007, and you made 7 years in Cayman, February 8th, 2007, you were rolled over. And they made it very clear that they were making it retroactive. They emptied out the country. And I'm not saying that we have to make our zone retroactive, but we have to take a look at what is going on and make the right decisions. The businesses will survive. Financial services will survive. Tourism will survive. Cayman continue to thrive. They still were like years ahead of us. They stood fast and they made the decision. And we have to make these decisions for Virgin Islanders and the future of Virgin Islanders and our children and this territory. We have to do it. It does not mean that we hate anybody. In the way some of y'all talk, yes, you make it look like it's us against them. That is not what I'm saying. And I'm going to say again, whoever wants to come in here, however number of people can come, it's good for business, in terms of, selling and, it's good for business. But at the end of the day, there needs to be an end to a path to belong status. Period. There needs to be a rollover policy in place to control all of this. I believe that we have to go back to where some of our old legislations where, no, you cannot have your baby here because it's becoming a fight that is unnecessary. It's becoming a fight that's unnecessary. It is just not sustainable. If the government can find a way to put certain things in place that balances out everything, okay. But clearly they can't. It's not their focus. And where we're going is not their focus. Roger, you don't let nobody fool you with that nonsense, We must include the Virgin Islander born to expatriates wholeheartedly as Virgin Islanders. The laws of immigration must include this. This will go way back because that will go way back. And I've said that before. We are where we are now. And we have to accept all of that moving forward, but there has to be a control point at what is unfolding in this territory. And the members of government, they will make these things. They're like, oh yes, come in, but they're not making the allowances for these people to be cared for. So there has to be some control mechanisms put in place. Okay, people born to I want to make sense of what you said, Roger, so that people understand. So you, Roger, you're considered a Virgin Islander. And I think people that were born in the territory, like some decades ago, which would include the Honorable Myron and some other people, they were given Virgin Islander status. And so we have to accept that. Okay, you're right. I agree with that. And I always say too, you're here at this point. We have to deal with what is here at this point, but where are we going for the future? And that's my conversation. That's my conversation. That's why I said that the rollover policy doesn't necessarily have to, be retroactive. It could be retroactive to a certain point. But again, like I say, we have to look at what's going on and then adjust ourselves accordingly. Okay? Cindy, we have a new constitution, 2007. You mean the constitutional review that we're going through now? That will be driving force to knock out disenfranchisement. Are you sure? Because I don't think that that's what's happening. Cindy, we have a new constitution, 2007, that will be, I guess, a driving force to knock out disenfranchisement. I don't know, Roger. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case. Somebody said that is true. I had a family member who got a job in Cayman, and then a local got the qualifications they had, and she could not get the job again. All right, they don't play there. Yeah. So I mean, that's something like I'm saying, even in terms of the IMF, right? A lot of countries are looking at things that didn't work and they're readjusting themselves. And I just find the BVI is just heading gung ho straight into those things that we already see does not work. We already see that. Okay. And the systems in the BVI, they overcrowded, they're overwhelmed, and there isn't any place that you can go. You are correct with everything you said. The politicians got involved and effed up the country. So, I mean, I think all of us who have eyes and brains, we can see what's going on. And the BVI has just been on a getaway train, and we have not done the best. We have not done the best in nation building at all. And it seemed to me like we're still not focused on nation building and what nation building means. Because even, okay, say it's your house. Even if you bring somebody into your house, like let's say it's our house, my house, your house, whatever, right? And say you're adopting a child into your family. If you're truly, interested in adopting a child, giving that child a better life, you want to bring the child in and you want to be able to treat the child exactly how you're treating your children. At least that's how I look at it. If I decide I'm going to adopt a child, that child is going to be treated exactly the way that I treat my children, the exact same way. And I'm going to try to love them as much as I love my children, right? Or you don't bring them in. And that's what I'm trying to say for the BVI. We've opened up our gates wide. We've opened up. Based on all that you see going on, we've opened up wide. And we haven't made the relevant, plans. We haven't made the relevant plans to make sure that what we've done would work. Instead, we've created a nightmare for this territory. Our systems are overwhelmed. People are overwhelmed. Schools are, everything is overwhelmed. Everything is overwhelmed. And now that we can look at the way that even the economy is going, and people just can't survive. I'm telling you, it's adding to the social issues that we're facing in this territory. They're insurmountable. All of this is driving these social issues that we have. It's driving these social issues. The BVI is a small territory, small territory. And you have more than 1,000 children. in the public high school. The systems are overwhelmed, they're overworked, and there is nothing in place to correct any of this, to curtail any of this, to bring any of this under control. So you guys can, leave here, call me the enemy, make whatever headlines, but I stand very firm and fast on what I've said today and what I believe a lot of our issues, a lot of the issues that we face, is that our systems are just overwhelmed because we've allowed certain things to happen and we were not prepared for it. We were not prepared for it. And I think some of the levels of people that we bring into this territory, we're not in a good place. We're not in a good place. So I'm going to call it a day for today. I know based on all the feedback I'm going to get on this particular conversation that I'm ending off with, that I might probably start with it again in the morning. But again, that is my position. And yeah, so I want to thank you guys for joining me today on the Morning Facts. I'm going to go through your comments. I don't know if you guys remember to leave any comments or questions that you had for the governor. He has a press conference at 3:00. If you have any questions, just leave it there in the comments and I will try to put them into the questions that I already have, or maybe I have some of them already, restructure the questions or whatever. Okay. But thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow morning. All righty. All right. Thank you. Take care.
Good morning, good morning. Rise and shine, nation. Grab your bush tea. Cindy Rosen in the building. Let's break it down. The morning facts with Cindy Rosen. How the country running, we break it down. Facts in the morning, no gimmicks, no spin. Educate, empower, let the day begin. Sunrise busting over hills and sea. Radio on, tune in frequency. From policy talk to community news. She asks the questions, bring real truth. No long talk, straight to the point. Facts so clean, they anoint. From the people voice to the leader's seat. She connect the dots, make sense of it. If you want knowledge, tune in early. If you want clarity, don't come late. The morning facts with Cindy Rosen. How the country running, we break it down. A chance on none, in pound and two. Electrifying facts for me and you. Economy, health, education. Youth, them future, the whole foundation. Culture, law, accountability. She hold the line for transparency. Not just talk, context and insight. So you can reason and get it right. Morning boost for your mind and soul. Information is power, take control. Grab your bush tea, clear your head. Start your day, properly fed. Who got the facts? Who got the facts? Cindy. Who asks the hard questions? Who keep it real every morning? Daily talk show. Daily talk show. Covering the issues. It drops an empire. Electrifying. Powerful morning booze. The morning facts with Cindy Rosen. From sunrise talk to national plan. Facts in the morning so we understand. Strong minds, strong people, stronger land. The morning facts with Cindy Rosen. From sunrise talk to national plan. Facts in the morning so we understand. Strong minds, strong people, stronger land. Before you step out, before you decide, get the facts in the morning and walk with pride. The morning facts with Cindy Rosen. Good morning. Good morning.